Hello, welcome to Friends of Terry Virgil podcast. We have something kind of interesting that came across while I was actually looking through my daily type of newspapers and stuff like that. I actually read about 5 of them. But here's something that I'd like to kind of look at, and believe it or not, the source that I'm getting it from is a conservative source. And the name of this episode is FBI expanding investigation of Clinton private email use. Let's put it this way, from the article, I'm going to go right straight into the article from here. And we're going to talk about a few things as we're going to go. The FBI is investigation of a Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's use of private email account while she was U.S. Secretary of the State to determine whether any public corruption laws were violated. And to state this much, anytime the government issues out a email for someone to use an email account, such as the liberal Democrat, feminist, presidential candidate to use, such as Hillary Clinton, we know for a fact that she did violate this, because if you look at it, while she was Secretary of the State from 2009 to 2013, and we're going at a couple of things here. Yes, it deals with Benghazi. We know that she absolutely did one thing that every liberal would do, and that's lie, cheat, and say everything. Matter of fact, it's in common nature in the Clinton clan. I'll bet you even Chelsea Clinton and the grandkids will learn to lie and cheat just like that. They have no integrity. No Democrat, no liberal, no feminist has the idea of what integrity is all about. When you are told to use a certain, and she should have known better, that when you use the government type of emails you use for sensitive documents, that private email is a no-no. And I'm getting some of this information right straight out of the article that I'm reading. And let's put this, it's a shorter article, by the way, but there's a lot here that we could talk about, especially with the Clinton Foundation donations. It has to deal with that too. Benghazi, we know that Hillary Clinton decided to say, okay, she was scared, she didn't know what to do. That sounds just like a typical person of her type of gender that would want to hide because they don't know what to do in order to be a successful government leader. That's a bad leadership when you don't know what to do and hide. She probably takes it from her husband, Bill Clinton, the very same page, who has also been found guilty and impeached as President of the United States of America for violating one simple fact, and one simple fact is he committed adultery. Okay, the lying snake got away with that one. And that's why we're going to call him a lying snake. We're also going to call her the other lying snake, because they were tempted to do evil with the snakes. Whenever you send an email or anything as such, in private email, such as I got a couple of them here. I got a business email account, and I also got a private email account. But anytime you send out private email through private email accounts, always do one thing. Make sure it's secure. Make sure that there's a security thing. Yes, I know the Clintons probably stole the money to get a private server. That's probably what they did. That's probably because all Democrats, liberals, and communists and socialists are all the same. liars and thieves, murderers. They love to do all that stuff just to convince they don't know what to do. I'm going to say it this much. As you know, I pay very close attention to what's going on in the political realm, and that's part of my business. Matter of fact, that's how I run my business. As a true conservative, I'll find stuff and I will keep on digging until I find the facts and truth. Like I said, this is a fact and truth from an article that I've gotten out of while I was just doing a little browsing around. It just caught my attention, and I figured I'm going to broadcast it. Why not? Because if you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. That's your choice. But here's the one thing. You got someone that tried to run for president in 2008, failed. Got beat by a Muslim, a better liberal, and a better communist. Well, I don't know if he's a communist, but let's put it this way. I've always said all liberals are communists or socialists. It doesn't matter, because if you look at Bernie Sanders, he's a liberal and he's a socialist. They're all the same. Democrats are all the same alike. No integrity. They couldn't even spell the word integrity if you ask them to, or define it. To them, for Hillary Clinton, integrity would mean this much. And this is what Hillary Clinton, this is how she identifies as the word integrity. To tell a lie, to tell a myth, to pull the wool over your eyes so that you can have something called switch and bait. Well, I've heard carnival barkers come up with better lies than switch and bait. No wonder Bill Clinton sounds like Bozo the Clown. That's because he is. And Hillary Clinton's no different. Matter of fact, let's put it this way. Her even one boss at one time, Obama, is no better than a bozo. Yes, I can sit back here and criticize this all I want, and I will. No problem. You gotta understand one thing. When you look at articles as such, no wonder ISIS is here in the United States. No wonder this thing called ISIL is out there too, the Islamic State of Iraq and the whole entire region. And that does not include Israel, but according to the maps and everything I've seen, Israel doesn't even exist according to Obama. Because he hates. Every time you see him talk about the Islamic State of Iraq and the whole entire region, ISIL, whatever that moron wants to call it, and that's the real words for it, the occult group called Muslims. No wonder he says, well, we got to allow ISIS in, because he says ISIS is the Islamic State of Iraq, Syria. He says we got to allow Syria to come in. That means he's allowing ISIS to come in to behead you, or to burn you alive, or to drown you to sea. Hillary Clinton proved one thing when it came to Benghazi. She was scared and didn't know what to do and hated the idea of doing something. That's the way all liberals are. They don't like to do anything. They like to take credit for stuff that may be good, and there's nothing good about it. Liberals such as Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton or Chelsea Clinton or the grandchildren. You got to include grandchildren on this because it's called heritage. It's called the Clinton Foundation. What a bunch of lies and everything else. And anybody mixed up in this Clinton Foundation, like George Stephanopoulos of ABC News, who is a liberal, by the way, and will go after every conservative as if he is God himself, and he is not. Let's put it this way. He's nice to Hillary Clinton because of one thing. He donates money to a bunch of thieves, liars, and people that like to have mythology as part of the truth. Well, guess what? Benghazi was a disaster by every liberal, Democrat, communist, socialist, Hillary Clinton, Obama, you name it, you got it. That's why they hate liberty and freedom. Hillary Clinton's emails. I will guarantee you one thing. If they were to look at the right server and found out that what she had in that server before it was scrubbed was truth. Truth that would have brought that family down, including the grandchildren. Now, I like the grandchildren, and they may sound innocent, but they're not. If you got the heritage of a Clinton, you're going to have the heritage of a liar. Matter of fact, there's another person in history, two of them actually, maybe three. I can name off one of them right now, Benedict Arnold, which is probably related to the Clintons some way. Jeff Snowden. Matter of fact, Hillary Clinton and Jeff Snowden must be buddies because they gave out information. They absolutely gave out the information to our enemies, which is ISIS, which is actually the occult group called the Muslims. I'll say ISIS here, and I'll say ISIL because they're both. There's a difference, but they're both still there. Let me put it this much: she's not worried about her emails, and Bernie Sanders says it's time to just let it go. Well, Bernie Sanders is a stupid moron, anyways. He's a socialist. Adolf Hitler's his buddy. He loves to worship Adolf Hitler, who was a socialist. So let's put it this way. Mussolini, a socialist. Tojo, I don't know if he was a communist or a socialist, but I guarantee you, the way things sounded about World War II, he was a socialist. Another socialist, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Got the point? Every Democrat is either a socialist or a communist. And yes, I do call them a liberal for a real reason. Because they love to have change. They love to violate the law. They love to take down the Constitution of the United States of America, which means freedom and liberty. They love to take that down. This is why the FBI needs to expand investigation. I'll tell you the truth. If they were to find out where those emails were scrubbed off, that original scrubber, I guarantee you one thing. Hillary Clinton would be sitting in the federal penitentiary right now for violating the trust of the people and the will of the people and for violating the Constitution of the United States of America, which means the security of the people. The people here in the United States of America would never be, and you should never trust Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, or even Mr. O'Malley. Of course, we know Obama, he's claiming that, oh yeah, I'm not going to do anything because I'm done running. You know what I got to say about that? Bullshit. He happens to be in control of the TPA, the Trans-Pacific Alliance. And I'm going to say, okay, fine, we'll say that he's a communist in this case because of the way he's acting and the way he's doing stuff. Every liberal, every Democrat, I'm not going to apologize for this. I'm going to say it this much. If you don't tell the truth and you don't have integrity, then you don't belong in the classification of telling the truth. In the 1960s, there was a television program, a game show called Telling the Truth. To tell the truth, actually. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Chelsea Clinton, Obama would never be able to be on that show because they can't tell the truth. Nor can any liberal, nor can any Democrat, nor can any communist, nor can any socialist. They cannot tell the truth. And I'm going to say this much. And I'm